I'm sorry I pulled y'all's legs.
What's up, window lickers? How goes it, household? How are you doing? Chaos Goblins? I know you're coming in here and you're not seeing any Chaos Goblin, but I'll get to that in a second. But how are you doing? How's it going? You know, at the beginning of this, I seen the picture of when we had Grun on here, and it made me miss that stupid Philadelphia bastard. But that we'll move on from there because today we have, as you guys have been seeing lately on the In Your House network, we have young boy Bryce. He is here, he is with us, and he is ready to talk Monday Night Raw. Kevin, to be fully transparent like we always have been, he is at a graduation. So he is celebrating a young individual on their next journey in life. So hopefully Kevin has some fun. He gets some cake for us, maybe some subs if they have them. But we're here with Bryce, young boy Bryce. How are you doing, my friend? Are you ready to talk some Monday Night Raw?
Man, Monday Night Raw, another European show. We had a really good crowd. I'm excited to talk about some of the action that went on. I wouldn't say the episode was. I mean, there was some stories to be driven, but I think there was more to be desired a little bit. But I am definitely excited to talk about Monday Night Raw with you today.
Beautiful. Yeah, and you hit it right on the head. I mean, it was a unique Raw. I mean, I like the way it opened. I like the way the matches were set up, and I like some of the stories that were being told. So it looks like there's some hope there for WWE and Monday Night Raw and keeping people's attention. But before we get into that, Bryce, what is going on in your world? Have you discovered any new movies? Have you heard about this Obsession movie? One of my daughters seen it and has been flipping out about it. She said the last 10 minutes she didn't even look at the screen. She just looked at the ground.
Oh, so this is a scary movie. I am unfamiliar with Obsession.
It's a thriller. It's not like horror. She just said it got too real.
Too intense. Oh my god.
Yeah. So, but the clips I seen, it just looks like a crazy girl that you met at a bar, and maybe she doesn't want to leave your house right away. That's all I've seen.
Yeah, I think I've definitely heard some things about the movie. Definitely some good reviews online. At least it seems like it's been kind of playing a little while, but it's picking up steam.
Yes.
So that's kind of good sign that a movie. You know how we tell a friend to tell a friend. That seems to be what's going on there. And I mean, clearly it's happening at the beginning of the show. You're telling me now. I might be piquing my interest a little bit. So,
when the more she described it, the more I'm like, well, I got to kind of see this. I mean, I sat through the Blair Witch Project in the movie theaters. I might as well sit through this. So, but yeah, I've been looking at a couple new things coming out. Tom Segura's Netflix show Bad Thoughts has a second season. Ooh, it's just as insane as the first season. As everybody knows here, I'm a huge Segura fan. Him and his wife, I think, are two of the funniest people on this planet. But yeah, it got wild. Have you ever seen Bad Thoughts?
You're putting me on to some new things right now.
Okay. So, you know of the comedian Tom Segura?
Oh yeah,
correct?
yeah. I know of.
Okay, so he's a bit out there. He does a lot of imitations of guys that he idolized growing up. One guy, Big Kane, a rapper, and that he talks about the time he met him by yelling out, "Sup, Kane?" And Kane like just looks around, and it's just a larger white guy that's standing on the street, so Kane knew it wasn't him. But the show that he has come up with is it's so bizarre. It's like taking the wildest thought you could have and making it a skit, in which one of them, the very first one I ever seen was him. He was an assassin. Okay. So he's on a mission. He's talking to the central people, and in the middle of him attempting to assassinate somebody, he shits his pants and then has to deal with that. So the whole skit is that.
Yeah, it's just insanity.
Dude, they went wild this year. They went back in time, and they showed how there was a possibility of a horrible tragedy that happened in our nation, in which somebody might have tricked their way out of being on a certain farm. Okay. It was the funniest fucking shit I have ever watched.
Some of these comedians, they get, especially with the streaming networks now. I mean, obviously back in the olden days, everybody's on Comedy Central, but
Yeah.
there's definitely some comedians that on these streaming services have gotten really good shows off to me. I mean, Shane Gillis with Wheels, I know, is very mainstream. Tim Robinson, who popped off a couple years ago but I can't think of I mean, he does Detroiters with I believe one guy that did SNL. He does SNL.
He was on SNL for a couple seasons, I believe.
And then he also has the other show, I Think You Should Leave. That's his skit show too. And I mean, these guys, like, it's just incredibly funny stuff. It's outlandish stuff. The guy who's also on HBO Max, Peterman, I want to say, or something like that. He kind of does like the crazy things, like he'll help a pizza guy's shop, and he's like, "Oh, this is the promotion we'll run. If your 30 minutes are over, you get a free pizza, but the free pizza he would offer is like the size of this lighter or something like that." So it's like Nathan Feldman, I think his name.
Okay, I've heard of him.
Peterman is the shitty quarterback that used to play in the NFL. I don't know why that name came in my head. Nathan Feldman, I believe, is his name. He's the one who has the show on HBO Max. It's pretty funny. He does some like weird stuff like that. I think at one point he has a show where he learns to pilot a plane, and it's kind of like, I don't know, just some crazy outlandish stuff that kind of puts behind it. Like,
yeah, I mean, I absolutely loved comedy ever since I was a kid. And to me, if Richard Pryor like was starting today, he would have blown Dave Chappelle out of the water.
I mean, yeah,
especially with his skits. Like, the dude had skits on stage. The time he talked about lighting himself on fire.
We've had some real greats over the years between. Pryor. I've been watching a lot of Bernie Mac clips sometimes when I'm at work.
Bernie Mac was a genius.
Chappelle, obviously, his stand-up is really good.
It's the top.
He's got longevity with it too, which is crazy. Man, just a lot of talent.
Yeah, there's so much talent out there. But yeah, another one I want to shout out. We will be seeing a hour special because of the Kevin Hart roast. Cheryl Underwood has officially got her Netflix 1 hour special because of her moment at the roast. If you haven't checked it out, I would advise to go and check it out and listen to some of these comedians, because Cheryl Underwood, I've followed her for years. She's just the funniest fucking person, especially if you go at her. She's like a pit bull, and she cuts you down and makes you feel very small. She's getting her hour special with Netflix. That's a huge payday for her. She's already on tour right now with the I Need a Job tour. So go check that out if it comes to your city, because she's going to be doing some recordings on that. You're going to get an hour special at the end of this, and it's going to be a huge thing on Netflix. Always support comedians, guys. I love comedians. They make the world go round. They make sure that we stay in reality. Some are good, some are bad, but it doesn't matter. Comedy is what we defend. So go out there, check out Cheryl and all she's doing, because I'm telling you guys right now, if you've been sleeping on her, you're about to get a hurricane, Katrina levels when she pops out.
Staying back.
Stand back. There's a
Hurricane.
Cheryl coming through. All right, what's up, Nightwing? How are you doing? He's our UK fan. Nightwing, I've been mowing over the idea for the UK correspondence.
What up, bruv?
I think I might have something for you, buddy. So we're gonna be in touch with you and give you the final details on that. But we're here, Bryce. We're here ready to talk about Monday Night Raw, the review show in which we review Monday Night Raw. So fans, you know how it goes. If you're in the chat and you want to talk about something, let us know. Drop a line in the chat, and we're gonna kick off the talk with, well, exactly how Raw kicked it off, and that was with our tribal chief, Bryce. Let me ask you real quick. I like to pick the In Your House Network crew members' brains when it comes to production and things like that. Visually, for me, this was fantastic. I love when they first, when you just have a big night, you showcase it right at the beginning, and then you go into the story, which AEW missed the plot after Double or Nothing with, which, you know, hopefully they'll improve that. But Bryce, how did you enjoy this visually? How did you enjoy this, and what were you like as a fan? Because I know you were always throwing the ones up.
I think first, before I get into that, coming from that point you just made, it kind of reminded me of kind of how I guess how people look at the NBA and the WNBA in a sense,
Okay.
in terms of league progression. I do think AEW missed that ball last week. You know, but in a sense, they're still in an infancy if you really think about how long they've been going on. The WNBA, you know, where they talk about, you know, the pay gaps, you know, the rules, maybe competition isn't at a certain level that maybe that people want to desire it at because of what they see on the other side. But that's a league that has only been around since 1995.
True.
So, you know, in comparison to the NBA that has far more history and things like that, it's just something that, you know, they're starting to pick up. And so sometimes I think with AEW, and we've mentioned it before, maybe they're listening, maybe they're not. You know, these are things they're still learning, and they do have minds and people that have been around, which kind of makes it annoying in a sense of like making the excuse for them that they are young. But I do have to remember sometimes that they are learning. They are trying to be their own thing. So maybe they don't want to be a copy and paste on a Wednesday night of maybe what you've seen on Monday in that sense. But yeah, that's just my thoughts on the other show. Getting back to Monday night, you know, there's something about one when there's a Roman Reigns segment, when the bloodline is coming out. One, it's the anticipation. You could have just, yeah, I know Obafemi's on the match card. Yeah, I know Ethan Page. It's Rusev Day. Rey Mysterio's wearing the baggy pants and no shirt again.
Yep.
Julia's in her, you know, half her blood's hometown. But who gives a fuck? Roman Reigns is coming out. Like, that's all you need to see on the graphic to know you're gonna tune in for at least 10 to 15 minutes that night and see what the hell's happening. And I don't know if it's just me, but it feels like sometimes the camera quality is a little different when that guy's got to be on screen. The production is a little bit different when he gets to show up. And it's that cinema you want to, you know, you're anticipating every time. You got him coming down with the Usos. Jay, who's been kind of turning into this annoying mini-me of Roman, falling him down. And obviously missing is Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu is still a little defiant maybe after the loss on Sunday. But then, you know, after they call him out, he comes down. Jay's kind of, you know, being a hothead. He's trying to, you know, he's really trying to stir something up because he feels that this is somebody who's beneath him. Like, he's got to listen to Roman, but he feels like this guy's got to listen to him. And I really like that Fatu took the time to take that mic from him and tell him, like, shut your punk ass up. I don't listen to you. I only acknowledge that guy. And he went on to acknowledge his tribal chief, which was disappointing to a lot of fans out there to see the bloodline back together. But I mean, yeah, it stinks that Jacob Fatu didn't win the championship, that we didn't get that. Maybe that ceiling broke for him right away. But the bloodline being back together is just, you're going to tune in. You can argue it all you want, but you're going to love it. I know I sound like I'm just like, oh, bloodline, but I'm wearing the shirt for a reason. I buy the merch for a reason, because these guys genuinely entertain. And when they're together as a family, I know you think it's lame that he's put in this box, and maybe it is, but I promise you these guys are enjoying every moment of getting to spend time with each other, getting to perform in the ring together. And what this is going to lead to, I think, is maybe kind of, in a sense, I think Fatu is going to get at that Daniel Bryan moment from when he kind of, left the Wyatts. I think that's kind of what you might get out of this eventually.
Okay, I like where you're going with that. Hopefully we can get to that type of moment, because that was a pretty cool moment for what happened at the time. We have Fighting One chiming in. He's saying, I love the OTC, but it's hard to get behind a storyline that was done 2 years ago. I kind of see his point on this one. I mean, we are going back to the Solo Sikoa moment, but in a way we're not, because Solo was kind of brought in like that, right? Like, he was brought in to be the henchman.
Yeah.
I guess that's, you know what? I'm going to let Jacob has entertained me on the indies. Jacob has entertained me in WWE. I've loved seeing his progression. I think that they are going to have a positive outcome to this, in which the fans are going to enjoy it. I think it's going to differ from what we're talking about in what it's like. And I see where you're at, Fighting's One. Trust me, I truly do. But I got to put some faith into Jacob and what they've been writing for him so far. Did I want to see him in this predicament? No. I kind of wanted to see what Kevin was talking about and them test the boundaries of this match. Somebody comes out, interferes. Okay, so the tribal fight over, done with. So now we're for the title. And then we have, but what do you do with Jacob after that? Do you have him continuously fighting Roman? Like, that to me is going to get boring also.
Well, I think what'll be interesting too, I remember that Roman essentially gave Jay his marching orders. He kind of told him, hey, like, I'm the head of the table, but tables have two ends. You need to go for that other world title. So I'm wondering what that kind of involvement leads to, because is Jacob's story, lead into that a little bit? Is he going to be a hindrance in whatever is going to happen with Jay, and maybe he's the one who takes that other end of the table?
Okay, I like that. Now, from what you know with the OTC, all your Roman fandom and everything, who do you think he would rather see at the end of that table? Jacob, who is semi-new, he is proven to want exactly what Roman wants, or main event Jay, who has proven maybe his title is not exactly what it should be.
Yeah, that's why I think maybe there's an extent of, I mean, once Roman feels that he's gotten Jacob, falling in line, maybe that's, a pivot in the story. Like, I know I was saying, hey, maybe it's a quick burn, and, Jacob betrays the family or something, he breaks free. But maybe it is a long story that, leads to, I don't know, building that other end of the table, because that's something that in all this time of Roman kind of being the OTC, being the leader, being the tribal chief of all these guys, he's never really seemed to offer something like that. Like never seemed to acknowledge that
Yeah,
someone else could be acknowledged on that same
that
kind
there
of,
was another end of the table.
yeah. So very interested in that layer of what the story could be in a sense for that family.
That's I like that. I like that we've uncovered that chapter. And kind of
It could be nothing. It could be
yeah,
nothing.
and it could be. You're 100%. It could be. So that's what I love about this show, because we have that phrase, we'll put a pin in it, and in this one it is 100% we'll have to put a pin in it, because we have to see the next story. We have to see what happens next week. Do we see Jay show up on SmackDown? I mean, if Roman's directing him in that direction, why wouldn't we see that? I mean, if there's another title and it's over there, and we know who's holding it over there, young Cody Rhodes. He's a grandson of a plumber. He wasn't the son of a plumber. He's his grandson.
I guess and then Jay and Cody. I mean Jay and Cody.
We've seen it, and it wasn't bad. I mean, I wouldn't mind them going again. Expect energy from Jay.
Now you got heel, yeah.
So, I mean, again, we just have to go back to the phrase. We have to put a pin in it. We have to move forward and see what they're going to do next. I think we went into the Fatal Four.
Yeah, we had the men's I believe the men's King of the Ring first round
Yes.
was first. We had Carmelo Hayes, Solo Sikoa, Penta, and then Obafemi. I mean, that match from the start, I mean, I think it was hilarious. Oba comes out during his entrance. All three guys, they go to jump him right as he comes in. And something I've literally never seen before, he topples them all over. That's fine. Normally, you just ring the bell after that. No, this guy hits his pose. He knocks them all out, hits his fucking pose like a badass. And, then we get the match started. But it's on Oba's time when the match got started.
Yeah, you're 100% on that one. Yeah, he, there was a lot to Oba's entrance. I noticed his facial expressions looked a little more like I seen him concerned for the moment, like maybe not completely sure of himself just right after a big, huge battle with Brock Lesnar.
Well, he came in and his arm was taped up.
His arm was taped up from all the horrible arm bars that Brock Lesnar delivers. I hate his arm bar. I think it's
lock.
Yeah, I think it's not even. It's to me
one of those moves that it sucks, because as somebody who he's a legitimate MMA champion.
True.
The Kimura lock is a very legitimate move. It
100.
is just one of those moves that, even if it maybe is putting a lot of pressure on a guy in a fake way, it looks so easy to not be real in the moment.
See, that's where I'm at with it. And with Brock, I need it to look real, because that's who he resembles. He's the real guy in there beating people up. But I absolutely loved Oba's, like you said, he hit his pose. I've never seen that. You ring the bell, you call for the bell, or you do something. You don't hit your pose, but if you're a legitimate badass, that's what you do. I will say the only critique I have about this whole match was I did not like the way they used Oba, or they didn't use Oba a quarter of the match. Like, I get how these multi-man and women matches work, and you get the bigger guy off so you can hit all those cool spots, and then later on the bigger guy is probably going to come in there and demolish everybody and win. I get that. But with Oba, you don't have to do that. There should be to me, if there's a multi-man and Oba Femi is in it, and you can strike up a deal with anybody else, you're on him the whole time until he is gasping for air to get back into the ring. But in this one, it just seemed maybe he got a little banged up in that Brock Lesnar match, and they're just securing him in a sense. But for me, Bryce, I that's the only critique I have about this match. Everything else I thought was fucking phenomenal. Penta's entrance, some of those motherfuckers I thought were going to get lit up with some of those sparks coming off that wheel. They had a great placement there. This was an overall great match, except for, like I said, my own personal critique.
I mean, I'm with you. I think this match, for me, this match really just might have been, it's probably the best of the night, to me at least. I think the winner, I'm not sure if they got the winner right, if that makes sense. Like, I think Oba's going to get screwed in the tournament. That's why I don't think it matters to, like, he doesn't need to win tonight, or I guess that night. Let Brock come out and do whatever again, maybe.
See, exactly.
Or attack him before the match starts, so he doesn't even have to be a part of the 4-way, and then it's the other 3 guys, weirdly in a triple threat or something like that. I think because I know it's going to lead to, hey, these 2 are fighting at SummerSlam, so Brock, just get it out of the way, and then one of these guys gets to move on to that next round. And in my mind, where it makes that next round a little bit more unpredictable, I feel like. I think Penta doesn't need the win as much, but maybe a guy like Carmelo Hayes moving on in that tournament again, I think just be really big for him. And he's a guy who's great worker and can kind of put on a show against all sizes. Penta is going to be moving on. I think they mentioned Rey Mysterio in his future after the match at some point. So I just think, I thought the match was really good. I just think the winner, not mad that Oba won, but yeah. I think there's other possibilities with knowing what I think the course of his story is.
No, I agree with you. I think this would have been a perfect opportunity to do the screwing over Oba in the tournament and using Brock. You're telling me that
I can't lie though, he's so cool. Like, when he came back, like, first of all, I love Solo Sikoa in his expressions.
Yes.
Kind of, he's just so funny. He
throws
the Penta thing and he punts it in the crowd. he does, but when Oba got back up, oh God, like he's the perfect, like, funny guy, but also can be that I'll fuck you up guy. Tala goes and attacks Oba. Oba starts tossing people, but when Oba came back in the ring, it's like when he's like beating his chest, King Kong in it, like, like, it's like, dude, this guy is like, give him everything.
And that's what I say about him. I mean, like, even just watching him walk out, the dude is cool. You look up the definition and it's Oba. There's this aura about him. I mean, fuck, we had guys like that when I was growing up. Dr. Dre. He just resembled cool. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. You were out there, you were bumping the Chronic album. I know it. You were talking about Dr. Dre. I was a 13-year-old white kid in the country being like, yeah, it's a Dre day, baby. Things like that. And when you have things like that in the world is better. Like, there's kids everywhere, no matter what creed, race, whatever. They can look at Oba and be like, that motherfucker is cool, because that's it. His whole presence is, I'm Oba, the destroyer of worlds, in which that's where I get to where I would have wanted him to get screwed out of this by Brock. Brock and him face each other at the Night of Champions. Brock goes on. He goes against Gunther at SummerSlam. Gunther ends Brock's career. Because Oba is the destroyer of worlds. Okay? Gunther is creating his own world in which he's retiring motherfuckers. So to me, as a fan, when I'm looking in story-wise, for me, the story there is Oba destroys Gunther and destroys his world. Because that's where you have to slam Gunther down after all his wins, after all his destruction. and you build Oba up in that way. Personal preference of mine. I whatever they're doing, I'm going to watch. I'm going to report on. But that's where why my mind keeps going to that. It's exactly what they call each other. So to me, Oba's bigger story is destroying Gunther's world. He can fuck Brock Lesnar. Like, to me, getting another win over Brock and winning that rubber match is going to fuck Brock's brain up more than.
I just thought about it too. Like, okay, if Gunther,
Mhm.
which is your end game here, like Gunther should have won, because then Gunther would have the belt. The Gunther Brock match could be career versus title or whatever, or something, if that's
You're
what it's.
telling me Brock wouldn't want to go out as a champion?
But and I think that would mean, but I think that would mean Brock cheats the rubber match. Like Brock has to win the rubber match, which is like crazy to say in a sense. But
Yeah,
he
we
would have to
can't
cheat.
do
He
that.
would have to cheat the rubber match. Like he'd have to win like a complete asshole. Like I just can't do it. Like he had to win like an asshole this last time.
Okay.
I feel like he's to some extent acknowledging that he has to be a little more desperate, but then he's gonna claim that he's top shit. But I feel like he's got to know that. I mean, if he's going to win this, if they're going to make Brock win this somehow, he's gonna have to pull the low blows. He's gonna have to do those things that you wouldn't imagine in a sense.
Well, if he did win that rubber match,
but that would give him the catapult to go fight Gunther to put the career title on the line. That's just where my thinking is with that. Gunther retires him, and then Oba comes back for Gunther.
Let me know if you like this extra set of sprinkles on top of that sundae.
They're in a triple threat.
No. So Brock has to do exactly what you said. He fucks Oba over in that rubber match, gets that win. Oba goes to the match that Gunther and Brock are at, and he fucks over Brock to make sure Brock has to retire. And then he has that over Gunther that he needed Oba's help to make sure the beast gets slain. And then that, to me, that adds a little fuel to that, because now you have Gunther. He can cut promos on Oba, and Oba can be like, he can just laugh at him and walk away every single time.
Yeah. We're in a crazy lane.
We are in a crazy lane, but that's what happens here on the Tuesday show. To me, that sounds like a fucking dope episode to watch.
No, I mean that. Like, I think there's a lot, and we're playing fantasy bookers, and like we said, we're gonna be tuned in regardless. Like, these are dream scenarios of just based off of information we have right now. Like what we get could be whatever it could be so good in that moment where it's like, fuck, what are we talking about?
Exactly. But if they do go with that, we are clipping this, and you guarantee we'll be throwing it everywhere, because I guarantee you nobody is saying this stuff.
Sign me.
Yeah, exactly. Why aren't we in your writing room? What's going on here? All right, Bryce. So we covered the Oba winning this. Moving on, we have some speculation in what we think might happen next. Did we go into the tag? That was the tag team was next, and then we hit the women's, right?
Yep. So we had the tag team, Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee. They faced off with Rusev and Ethan Page. Pretty good match, I thought. Ethan Page, I think they changed his song recently. They kind of just took the ego. I don't know why they took that out of his song, but the crowd in Italy said, we're going to sing it anyway.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I feel like if you're the WWE, you got to hear that and be like, maybe we made a mistake trying to change this guy's sound around. Pretty fine match. Rey Mysterio's back to that classic look with the baggy pants, no shirt. Nothing really big to report, I feel like, off of this match. Like, I don't feel like anything for me moved story-wise with any of these guys really here. Rey Mysterio is going to be facing Penta. for the Intercontinental title match. I think that's next week. I want to say because he met with or Penta met with Adam Pearce, during the show, and I think that's what was decided. So that's really all I got from that match.
Yeah. I mean, as a tag team that gives Ethan Page and Rusev their first win, I kind of like the pairing of these two. I think they work quite well with each other, honestly. Of course, Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee are going to work well with each other. I mean, that's like saying, "Hey, do you want any chocolate syrup in your milk?" Yeah, of course I want chocolate milk. Come on. So again, like you said, nothing huge came out of that except it was a fun match. Didn't mind it at all, and I think that went into the women's first round for the Queen of the Ring.
Yep, and I think before that we had an LA Knight segment.
Oh yes, that's right. Yeah.
Backstage. He met with Adam Pearce. Also earlier in the show, I forgot about this. Still some advancement in the Austin Theory and Maxine Dupree saga. They were meeting backstage again. And then I believe the Alpha Academy kind of confronts Maxine about, hey, what's going on? That Theory guy's bad business. So I'm kind of interested in what the story could be there. Simply off the fact that the Vision being so cursed. I like the way the obvious is that Theory's recruiting Maxine, but at this point, and it's something I'm honestly stealing out of a comment I read earlier, but what if it was the other way around? What if Theory's joining the Alpha Academy? He's the Alpha, and he kind of, I don't know. I just think anything else would be more interesting because I think joining the Vision, one, they're snake bit. I'll get into it later because of a clip I seen online, but I'll talk about that after the main event talk. But I think it's scary to put anyone in this group. I think it's scary to get associated with this group because maybe your trajectory seems like it's going up, but anyone could be hurt, and now the TV time is cut. Now whatever momentum is cut with the entire group, and it just makes it tough to get behind whatever that story is as well. But then LA Knight, he comes in, he's talking to Adam Pearce because fucking Bloodline's back together, and he's sick. He thinks Adam Pearce is giving Roman favoritism.
Yeah.
And he might have a fucking point. I'm not gonna lie. As somebody who loves Bloodline, he might have a point in everything going on. Hey, you see what's gonna happen again. LA Knight kind of hit him with that Kevin Owens break the fourth wall. Brother, you know what the fuck is about to happen. You know exactly how these guys operate. I've been telling everyone this for months. What is going on? The Ula Lafa, he started.
Yeah. Fuck that one up so bad. He did.
I love it. I love it. But he's really anti-Bloodline. I'm wondering, maybe what is that crusade going to lead for with him? But then, like you said, we got into the Queen of the Ring first round match. We had 4 ladies in this: Lash Legend, Roxanne Perez, Io Sky, and Julia, who, I think this was a important night for her. She didn't get the win in this match, but she got that hometown pop, which is something that I think for her mentally it's got to be big. I think she walked away feeling really great from this night. I think she tweeted about it. I think all 4 ladies put on a banger of a match. I think every one of these King of the Ring 4-way matches are going to be a banger.
Oh yeah.
So I think these ladies all put on, and once again, not sure I'm happy about the winner. And obviously, I want to hear your thoughts on the whole match. Not sure I'm happy about the winner. I personally think I would have preferred to see Julia win. I would have preferred to see her get that win in her hometown,
especially with that pop.
Not her hometown, but kind of her hometown. I think they did say she, spent some time there, grew up and worked around that area. So it would have been nice to see her get that win, move her up in that, tournament. She doesn't have to win the tournament, but that would give her maybe some momentum as a character, and hopefully those pops, continue when she comes home. But I'd like to hear your thoughts on that match.
Yeah. Well, first off, the match was excellent. It was a fantastic one, especially for a tournament that I absolutely love, King of the Ring. I thought I wasn't going to like these that we were getting fatal four ways. We talked about that once we got the news um, from the Clash at the Italy watch along. But after the two that we witnessed, I'm okay with it. Julia, though, I love where you were at mentally. This has to be a huge boost for that woman. You've seen it on her face. I don't know. I don't know if I've heard a bigger pop for her in since I've seen her on WWE, and she showed out. And I think when you get moments like that, and like I always talk about the 5 minutes, take your 5 minutes anytime you get it. I think she felt that crowd love. She went out there, did her 5 minutes, and I think really, really, truly believe it's going to pay off for her in the next coming weeks. I think they're going to really be doing a good push with her. I know we got EO as the winner. I think we're bound and determined they're going to make that EO Rhea match. And I mean, it's still Rhea's never beat her, right?
I believe so, correct.
So we're still going up against that wall. I hope they're not trying to break that wall yet, because I think there's still meat in that story, but you got to separate them for a little bit and then bring it back together. But at the end of the day, though, with what we've seen in this match, not only did we get EO advancing, so we got that story going and developing. Julia had a huge organic pop from the crowd. That's going to be moving for her. But we also have Roxanne. And Roxanne's interesting because I picked her to win this. Because I want to see it. I want to see her get her flowers. But I will say, well, you know how we talked about Solo and his facial expressions? When it comes to the Judgment Day and they're sitting back there, Roxanne's facial expressions are the best. They are JD levels, but like main character. I think they're getting ready to do the major explosion inside Judgment Day. And from what I'm seeing, Roxanne looks like she's going to be the top dog out of that one. And I could easily see her dethroning Liv for the title. And I have not said that about Roxanne. This is me coming around and seeing exactly what everybody has been saying about her. And she may quite possibly be the prodigy.
I kind of wish that I see what you're saying. Like, I think that if they were gonna try to push her to, take on Liv, like, I feel like they missed that boat a little bit when
Okay.
they had that time with Finn, when she was, what are they friends? Are they meeting up? Like, I think they had a slight opportunity. But also, like, I think Roxanne, I think they have to figure out the face character for her, maybe. Like, I think she's really good on that heel side, but I'm not sure if, she's got a really good face character.
Okay. So you think she's more poisonous than anything, and that works for her. I mean, she's there.
Like, I think she's like the overly cute but like conniving little bitch.
True. We got Anthony Manzano chiming in. I've said this multiple times. When I look at Roxanne, I see a lot of a young AJ Lee, specifically Psycho AJ. Yeah, I can see what you're saying. I think she's better than AJ Lee, so I would compare her to like Luna, but more taken seriously. Like Luna Vachon was a terrific wrestler, but because she was a female, she didn't get many opportunities, and when she did, it was in more degrading match setups than actual wrestling. Which I think Luna, she she mentally had the psycho down. I mean, go back and watch her work with the Oddities. It's one of my favorite groups that the WWF ever did back in the day. But I do see exactly where you're coming from because I know a lot of people who are huge AJ Lee fans. Uh, totally get it. Totally get it. Uh, but yeah, I kind of see what you're saying, Bryce, and it sucks because it kind of steps on what I'm thinking because they did miss a boat. Because honestly, if they would have took that swing, then she has Finn to back her up.
Yeah, that's where I feel like if she does make that move to, okay, maybe I don't like how I'm being treated or anything like that, or I get that opportunity to like do the dethroning, it's like, well, there's always the numbers game. And like if you at least had one friend, like maybe I can believe that guy can, do enough to, help you get over.
True, yeah, yeah. And Anthony, yeah, I know that. That's exactly why I said what I said in the beginning with the character work of Luna. So that's where I'm at with that. Okay, so after that,
After that, we had I want to say there was a backstage segment with Bailey and Lyra Valkyria. They were talking. Such a little munchkin.
she's tiny.
I think we had a moment with Bailey and Lyra. Lyra seen Sol Ruka, who had a promo earlier in the night, talking about, hey, I'm gonna be a fighting champion, yada yada yada. Bailey and Lyra were actually having an interview talking about pursuit of the tag titles when Lyra sees Sol Ruka walking backstage with that IC title, and she's like, fuck this interview. I got Hey Sol, I heard you're offering title fights. Like I'm trying to get after it. Sol's cool with it. Bailey walks up and she's like, the fuck? Like we're trying to get. Oh, and she's like, yo, like just support me, my friend. Like I got this cool title opportunity now, and you're gonna chill. Like, so we had that moment. So there's definitely gonna be, probably some tension maybe with Bailey and Lyra. I don't know if are they still doing the Bailey split personality angle.
I don't know because she seemed normal for the past
Been a
couple
little
times
normal,
we've seen
so
her.
like
Yeah.
I don't know if maybe she, costs her in that match and they have some tension for some reason, or maybe Lyra just loses outright and they can go back to doing their thing. But just thought that was an interesting little moment there.
It was.
And then the other
she shook Bailey like white girls in Starbucks line, getting ready to get that.
Gotta go.
Latte. They're like, whoa,
my order's ready. Bye.
Bye.
You saw her opportunity and took it though. But then we had the main event.
We did have that main event. That was pretty good.
I mean, these guys have incredible chemistry. Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker. I mean, this Vision Rollins feud, I feel like it's been dragging, but like every match has been just really good. Like I can't really argue with the matches I'm getting. Even if I'm trying to argue with, how much I'm getting of it.
Yeah. Dude, well, first, before we go any further in this, we have to hit Fighton's comment. He says, man, I dislike Soul so much. Haven't hated someone this much since David Flair.
This is going to sound crazy. I mean, like the second half of this statement, I can't co-sign that. Sol Ruka is not hitting for me, surprisingly. Like
Really?
Ever since she's come up to the main roster, she is not hitting for me, and I don't know what it is. Maybe it's some of the shakiness with her matches. These first few matches that she's really had. I don't know what it is that she's just not hitting. And even her promo last night, being, hey, I'm gonna be a fighting champion, yada yada. Something about the way she was talking about Becky, it came off like she's supposed to be the baby face. And maybe they're trying to lean into something there, but like it just felt very bitchy in a sense. Like she kind of mocked Becky in a sense. during her promo, just talking about, oh, everyone's saying it. She kind of was pulling that stuff in before she was like, I'm going to be a fighting champion, things like that. So I just thought there was a weird, like, heelish vibe to the start of that promo, before she kind of was like, hey, I'm Sol Ruka. But yeah, she's just not hitting for me on the main roster like she was down below.
No, I can kind of see exactly what you're talking about, because before the main roster, I was hearing her name a lot. Like, she was talked about. Not so much since she's got. I mean, I know it's only been a
It hasn't
day,
been long.
2 days.
Yeah, it's not like.
But even leading up to it, I knew people who weren't excited that she was getting this opportunity. Like, they thought other people should have got that match. Real quick, let me hit Rib Shot real quick. He said, damn, David Flair's been catching strays all week. Yeah, Fighting's one's agreeing with you. Her
Manzano.
Yeah, and you got a question directly from
No, and I think that plays into what I was talking about earlier with him talking to Maxine. Anthony said,
let me
click that comment. He said, Bryce, I'm thinking they're planting seeds for Vision breakup because Austin Theory cost Breaker that match against Seth. Because we got that, that Goldberg Bret Hart spot. But I agree. Like, I think that the swerve should be that Theory is leaving the Vision in some way. I mean, I feel like, Alpha Academy seems like a low tier place to go in a sense, but maybe that can do something for them. I mean, I like Otis. I like Tozawa. They're guys that, like, people might be surprised they passed the release dates and things like that. But, like, I think you need acts like this on your roster. And, like, I think these rosters, like, need to be deep, but you have to showcase these guys because they're not going to go be world champs, but they can give me a good 5 minutes of backstage, even just being in the background, So yeah. I just hope that they can get something out of it. Back into Rollins and Breaker, though, I mean, we had that spot at the end, with the callback to that. I think the Penguin Man himself
took a bump.
He got speared through a barricade, I think it was.
Yep, sideways. He stood sideways and Braun pushed him through that barricade.
Yeah, it's a little tough. I mean, these guys put on a crazy match. I think Seth's got one of the better spears into a pedigree that I think he's gotten off, because personally, that is one of my least favorite, like, counters.
Oh, I know what you mean.
The first time he did it, I think against Roman, was cool, but then it was like every time after it just looks too forced sometimes. It's like one of those spots that you feel like they're like, we have to do this every time we have our little dance out there, and it just gets overused and it doesn't always look good. But the one he did to Braun was just fantastic.
It looked gnarly, but I agree with you. That first one him and Roman did, it was organic. Every other one has been produced. This one kind of felt organic too. Like they were maybe talking about doing it, and then they just got in that moment and it hit. Dude, I legit thought Braun landed on the bridge of his nose. But you can, if you go back and you look, Seth saves him with his I believe it's his right thigh. He kind of lifts it up higher than his other leg, and Braun's face just grazes off that table. But it's such a great visual right there. But I have to kind of go on the opposite too and start to ask, because Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins are known to be getting injured from matches like this. And I know I sound like a whiny bitch that I'm saying, why are they giving us these caliber matches on a Monday Night Raw? They could get hurt. But in the end of it, they could get very injured with a lot of those spots.
Braun Breaker actually might be hurt right now. I think I saw a video, and I can't confirm the date of the video. It's just one of those things, you see scrolling online. But I'm pretty sure somebody took a video of him in, like, a hotel lobby, like, limping really badly. like moving really like, oh my god, is this guy, does somebody get this guy a wheelchair or like help him move, because he did not look good. So that's one of those things where it's like I said earlier, it's like the vision's so snake bit that like the thought of adding another person in this group, maybe it's the buffer that like I mean, well, if we have 20 people, who gives a fuck if 8 people are hurt, because we can just roll somebody else out there. But it's like, it's also scary because if the main guy you keep trying to push that should be leading this group to the top gets hurt, it ruins everybody. It drags the entire team down. It's just like watching the NBA.
Yeah.
Your star player gets hurt, fuck, your season's probably over.
Yeah.
Those role players cannot make the same run without LeBron James. Like it doesn't happen.
Yeah. And it, you know, sometimes that's the double-edged sword, you know, in this form of entertainment. I mean, even Seth, after doing that pedigree on the table, like his knee, he tweaked his knee. It looks like you're catching strays from rib shot.
Rib shot. I've never heard of anyone advocate for someone they don't know like that. You need guys like Tozawa to be in the background. I guess he's a personal friend. First of all, you must have never hit that little dance with him, you know, in the ring, or like there's stupid little bits that guys like Otis and Tozawa can give you where they don't have to, like, Otis never had to win no fucking Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
But Otis kisses all the girls. Like, there's something about that Chris Farley looking motherfucker going out there and like doing shit where it's like, I just can enjoy that little bit of background.
Yeah.
With Tozawa, he is a proven worker, and it's like hilarious when they've done moments where like the Obafemi Open Challenge where he comes out, and obviously that match turned into Otis versus Obafemi, but he's trying to hype himself up, this little body, you know, and he realizes he's about to shit his fucking pants and he needs to get his friend in there. So it's stupid things like that. And it goes back to like, you know, the Hurricane, you know, in a sense, that was a character that's not going to win the championship, but the moments he can offer are just amazing. R-Truth is a guy whose longevity it's unheard of, but it's because he can offer not only in the ring, but just these moments that are backstage, the veteran presence, whatever it is. I mean, I'm sure these guys who can offer, they are offering more, I'm sure, than just, hey, I don't get to wrestle, I get to hang out in catering. Like guys that you don't see on TV every day now. Pete Dunne, he's credited with producing a potential match of the year candidate that I'm going to get into in a little bit. So it's just, you never really know, you know, what these guys really offer, but they're all there and they're all so talented. I mean, yeah, you don't know them like that, but like, I bet you'd want to. Don't lie.
Me too. Yeah, dude, I'm a fan of BWO back in ECW. So rib shot, you take all the shots you take because we just absolutely adore you. And yeah, I get it, Bryce. I love those types of gimmick characters. Fucking Perry Saturn running around with a fucking mop, calling it Moppy. I love that shit.
Al Snow.
Yeah, dude, Al Snow and Head, one of my favorite. I mean, BWO, let's fucking go. Give me any type of BWO moment in ECW, and I'll tell you why it's worth $1 million.
For Manzano, I see he's talking about, you know, with a cure, you know, I do see the point that, you know, people complain that a guy like this, who he was super successful in Japan, and hell, some of my favorite acts were super successful in Japan. Finn Balor, you know, super over in Japan. AJ Styles, super over in Japan. And I'm not saying that Akira Tozawa is these two guys by any means, but sometimes when you move over, you know, you don't get to be that same guy. You know, Finn Balor, who was the very top of New Japan at one point, he got to be the very top for a moment, but we haven't seen that level, you know, presented over here in WWE.
Yeah.
Shinsuke Nakamura, a guy that we got that maybe that level that he was at New Japan when they brought him to NXT, but they didn't necessarily allow him on that upper tier on the main roster. So it's tough because he doesn't get to be the super serious guy anymore, and maybe he is leaning into comic relief, but that comic relief is lining those two guys' pockets. That comic
100%.
relief probably isn't making them that upset because they're signing the contracts at the end of the day. Like, I'm sure when these releases happened, when they were asked to take these cuts in pay, they could have said no, just like the New Day, like anyone else. So I see your point where I wish these guys were serious, but like, is Tozawa going to be a world champ?
No.
Let's be honest.
No.
So like, you have to also know where to pick your spots. You can be the best player in high school, go on to be the best player on your team in college, but when you get to the pros, you might be the last guy on the fucking bench. And you just have to accept your role if you hope to win a championship.
You ain't getting no rebuttal from me. I want to hit these real quick. So, Ribshot, you're saying BWO were great. Totally agree with you. But you go, Moppy was not. So, in my line of thinking, you're willing to buy into a guy who thinks he's a character out of a Beatles album, but not a guy who has conversations with a mop? You know what, Ripshot? We need to get your info. You need to be a guest on the show. We need to have some outlandish conversations with you because I think you're gonna be fun. You're gonna be fun. All right, Bryce. We have two more things we wanted to talk about. Let's talk about the Danhausen segment, and then we're gonna let Bryce break down mask versus mask match because we know some of you fans are really into this feud, and we had a great match out of it. So, Bryce, let's get into the Danhausen moment.
So Danhausen this week on Raw, we didn't get I'm trying to think of how to explain it. We didn't get a normal segment. You know, I know everyone's waiting for the what's he cloning, you know. They kind of went into something special, something a little bit more near and dear to me just because the NBA finals are about to start. If you've been following Danhausen, he's become more than just a WWE name. He's become a household name featured on ESPN. Thank goodness for this partnership that has put this man on just every platform because we get to see Danhausen. He cursed Stephen A. Smith during the Knicks Atlanta Hawks series. During that series, the Knicks went on to lose, I believe, the next couple games. They were down in this series and like bad losses, unexplainable losses. Somebody out there paid Danhausen human monies. I don't know how much human monies, but they paid him. He uncursed the Knicks, and the Knicks have not lost since. They've done an unbelievable run. Not only have they not lost, the first game after they were uncursed, and I think he cursed the Hawks, a historic win. Like, they won by like 60 points. Like, it was unexplainable. They have not lost a single game since. The Danhausen curse has led them past the Cavs, who ironically are the Miz's, hometown team. But
and Logan Paul's.
He brought
that up on his video.
It makes it tough because, like, while I very much enjoy this aspect of Danhausen, and I think that the Knicks need to give him his courtside seat before he decides to change his fucking mind and curse them
between two movie stars.
Yeah, between Timothy Chalamet and Kylie Jenner.
Timothy Chalamet.
The Knickshausen need to put him in that seat because, oh my gosh, we're about to get the NBA Finals starting tomorrow. And the one thing that, like, while this has been the funniest thing to kind of happen in sports, I cannot afford Danhausen's legacy to be bet on the NBA Finals. I can't, like, for the love of God, if somebody pays him the money to curse the Spurs or curse the fucking Knicks and he gets it wrong, this has been my entire worry for the last two rounds, that if he gets it wrong in my brain, it's like the Danhausen magic is gone. And I know this is insane because I shouldn't believe I'm a wrestling fan, guys, but I know real sports should not be affected by this shit.
I
That's Maurice
absolutely.
Halliburton on national television answering questions about does he think the Danhausen curse is real. He's like, I wouldn't mess with it, and I wouldn't either. So I don't know what to tell you guys. I just hope that Danhausen. I honestly hope he doesn't interfere in this NBA Finals. I want a clean NBA Finals. I like to think that Wembanyama, who's a 7'6" alien, is immune to these curses because he's not human. But I just cannot afford for the legacy of Danhausen's curse to be tainted potentially by the NBA Finals.
I absolutely love that you are questioning reality.
I mean, look, if you were tuned in last summer to the NBA playoffs, the Indiana Pacers made a run that could only be described as something fueled by black magic, something fueled by the devil, something born in the devil in Gary, Indiana. That was the TikTok videos, these crazy edits, Pascal Siakam's eyes rolling in the back of his head like the Undertaker. It could not be explained by anything but dark magic. So, like, when you've already lived through that, and then there's a guy who's like, I am the dark magic, watch it, and it's continuously happening, how the fuck can you argue it, man?
Dude, he's been telling people this for years. He's been cursing people in his basement, doing toy reviews. Listen, Donovan he is the ultimate indie star ever. To be able to go into the main promotion of wrestling and take it over like he has, become the number 2 selling merchandise guy in mere weeks of just debuting, and then now to be teamed up with ESPN and doing these skits in which it's bringing people to basketball again. That's what I miss about the 90s basketball the most. I loved it. I loved it as much as you love it now. And it was just something that it brought me joy in the summer. And knowing that Michael Jordan was about to step on the court and destroy whoever he was going to destroy got me great pleasure. Dennis Rodman, I wonder what color hair he's going to have this week. Those were things that I loved. And the fact that Danhausen and wrestling, and it's a continuation from last year, because the Halliburton, for some reason, he's a staple in the WWE now. Like, he is somebody we talk about. I love it. This is what I love about entertainment, and the fact that I got to see somebody that I've been following for years and just laughing at and wearing his shirts, very nice, very evil, and having Amish people be like, what's that mean? This is what I absolutely love. And the fact that we're getting to witness it now, and there's so many people enjoying it. The NBA, give him his goddamn courtside tickets and let him just be on your team. Let him just be your mascot from now on. If the Knicks win this title, Danhausen has to be the new Knicks mascot. Your pause.
Sorry, my dogs were going a little crazy about.
Oh, no worries, no worries.
But it's honestly crazy that they haven't put him in that courtside seat yet. And like, there was a point in time where I was like, I hope it bites them in the butt. Like, I hope they don't put him in the seat. And he's like, you're cursed. And then all of a sudden they just fall apart or something. But
see, that would be Nick's fashion. Fantastic stuff. I love it too. And I can't wait to see what the result of this NBA Finals is. I'm actually looking forward to this Finals and tuning in. Wemby's an alien. You are 100% on that, man.
It's a rematch. I think I talked with Scrap about this, I think a week or so ago. It's a rematch to the 99 season finals. It was a lockout year, I think. So Knicks and Spurs from back then. Spurs obviously won because Knicks, they're cursed in reality. So maybe they change it up this year and they can get by Wemby. I don't know. I think it's really going to be a good matchup. I mean, you've got the best really tall guy, and on the other side you have the best short guy, basically. So it's gonna be very interesting just to see those opposing ideologies kind of going against each other in this modern day NBA. Like I think the small guard, which Jalen Brunson kind of represents, is kind of it's died for the most part. You still have a guy like Tyrese Maxey. I don't want to get too sporty.
You're good,
I don't
man.
want to get
Just
into
talk.
the mass versus mass, but I think that idea of that small guard is dying. You know, guys like Halliburton, we just mentioned, he's taller. He's 6'6", I think. A guy like Cade Cunningham in Detroit is also about 6'6", 6'7", and they kind of, you know, that bigger body has just become the mold across the league. And so, and then you've got Wemby, who breaks every mold by being taller than everyone, but able to do things like a small guy. So it's just be really good finals, I think.
His mid range is something that you cannot ignore, and then you can't even let him go out there into the three world
I
because for
mean,
some reason he can fucking knock him down. Like imagine Shaq going back out in the day and shooting a three. We would have all thrown shit at televisions.
I mean, this is a guy that, like, the way I've seen him, it's like Papa Shot. Like, he pulled one up from the logo that was Stephen Curry-esque, and it was like in the moment, it was like crazy because one, it's just deep three. You know, you see a really far back shot, you're already like, whoa. But then I start thinking about it for a couple minutes. I'm like, Steph Curry's about 6'3". It's a little different. This guy's about 7'5", 7'6". Is that shot as hard for him? Like, I had to start thinking about this. Like, is that almost like a normal shot in my head? Like, maybe he doesn't see those things the same. I remember early on they showed kind of what it was like to be a small guy trying to put a hand up against it, and it's like, this guy, he doesn't see people.
Yeah.
He's shooting the
Dude.
ball. You're beneath him. You don't contest it. You just kind of pray.
I almost want him to put on like a body cam and go and do that shot again just so we can see his advance, because that's a great insight, man, because that's exactly where my mind would have went watching that shit.
It's insane. Like, like I said, I think this series is gonna be good. Like, I don't think it's gonna be a sweep either way. The Knicks, the people like to say the East is a weak conference, but the Knicks have, you know, they've made it look weak, more than it being a weak conference. I think there's just been some injuries that have gone on the East this year. The Sixers weren't fully healthy the entire time. Like, Embiid was kind of coming back. He's a kind of a shell of himself.
Yeah.
The Celtics lost Jason Tatum partway through the series. So, I mean, there were some things that were going on that kind of opened it up for the Knicks, but the Knicks, I don't think they're any slouch. And then the Spurs just went through, you know, a grueling series with the defending champs, OKC. But they were, I mean, basically allowed to fight each other all series. And, you know, that's that playoff basketball people be clamoring for. That's what, you know, they try to say the 90s were about. And, you know, I don't know if I agree with it all the time. You know, I think if a guy's getting fouled, they got to call those fouls, because the way they were letting guys just manhandle Wemby, or, you know, even vice versa. You know, the Spurs were doing it back, because when you're in that environment, you kind of see, hey, that's what it is. Yeah. You got to match that energy, or you're going to be the one sent home.
So. Dude, 100%. And until the Bulls figured that out through the Pistons were beating the shit.
Yeah.
They had a rule, just take
that
Jordan out.
rules. Yep,
yeah,
Jordan rules. So.
Take that motherfucker out. Anytime he thinks he's going to do something, boom. But yeah, I know that's not basketball, but it kind of is, because it gives that energy. I was a block away from the Malice in the Palace when it happened. And when I came out of the concert, I thought World War Z was starting. It was insane, man. There was cop cars, fire trucks everywhere, people running around. It was wild. And then we stopped somebody and they're like, yeah, Ron Artest just started whooping people's asses. I was like, what? We stopped at a White Castle, and they were showing ESPN and they were covering it. I was just like, this is wild. But all right, so we got one match to cover, fans. Now this goes out to Chad Gable. You sir, you have done some amazing work. Kaiser, you're gonna continue doing you. and great work. But
I don't know who you're talking about. This match was between the original El Grande Americano and El Grande Americano. Guys, I'm sorry, but if you've seen, I mean, Double or Nothing, we had a match of the year. I don't want to bring up the other company like that, but we had a match of the year.
we did.
But like, I'm sorry, and voice, I don't want to expose you like this, but you need to watch. I know I'm about to give the coverage of this because you hadn't fully, been
I've
able to
seen
lock into this
clips.
one.
I've
And
seen
that's,
clips.
you know what? That's what made me mad about Monday Night Raw. Actually, now that I think about it, they showed clips of the match. They revealed the ending and then went on to be like, we're going to show the match at the end of Raw. And that kind of upset me because while it gave them the platform, hey, now I can watch this match is forever chronicled with this Monday Night Raw episode. Amazing. But you anyone who hadn't seen it now got it revealed. Like you ruined it. So that was a miss. But this match, I mean, 5 stars, 10 stars, all the stars. We didn't even fucking need the Tokyo Dome. We didn't need any of that. We had the craziest story that has been told for a little over a year now.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about 2 guys fighting for the pride of Mexico, and neither one of them's fucking Mexican. We got an American from Minnesota. We got a fucking German. Well, actually, I don't know where he is. I don't know who he is. My bad. El Grande Americano, I do not know you. Rayo and Bravo, I don't know who you guys are. But you guys are amazing performers that showed the Mexican spirit like no other. El Grande Americano went out there. Both of them just tore down the house. I mean, this started from the entrances where, the mariachi were present. They both kind of got this entrance where they're walking from backstage. The original, who later to get revealed as Chad Gable, it felt Goldberg-esque as he was coming out for his entrance. And the contrast and the way this crowd has viewed them in America, Chad Gable's been the face and El Grande Americano has been the heel. But then when they go to Mexico, it's flip-flopped. And Chad, the original, is the heel and El Grande Americano is the face. And the contrast was just present in the entrance. Like you had Chad coming down. He's disrespectful to the culture. He hates these fucking fans because they hate him. He tried to steal the mask off the hand of a fan.
I seen that clip.
Couldn't get it off. But you could tell like just this real hatred, this real heat for this character that's going on. These guys go on to have real graps. I mean, that's the way to describe this match. Like, you can easily go out there, you can have a spot fest, you can do this and that. These guys went out there and they beat the shit out of each other. Like, there's almost no way to describe. Like, if you've watched any of their build-up brawls, where Gable or El Grande's launching themselves at each other, and it's almost with reckless abandon. When Gable flips him, he almost looks like he's gonna, if he doesn't tuck his head himself, he's going to land on his neck.
Yeah.
Like, it's real stuff going on. And it's like, it blurs that line in a way where it's like, hey, these guys didn't have to go out and do a bridging German off the top rope. And not saying that's a diss to anyone, but it's like, they didn't have to do that to achieve this level. This feud was built up for so long. It's built so many emotions. Lady Pimpinella got attacked early on in this feud, which kind of really made El Grande the hero because he, went to kind of defend one of these AAA superstars against the original early on in this feud. His girlfriend got fired from the promotion just for this match to happen. Just all these ghosts of the original's past that kind of led up into this match kind of came back to haunt him. And it was just beautiful storytelling. I mean, he kind of confronted the girlfriend. Hey, how the fuck are you here? I got you fired from this place. And she pulls her ticket out. Oh, I bought my way in here. And I think the thing that really sold that moment was, you got commentary with JBL. JBL, you know,
JBL's wild.
how did she get in? This place is sold out. She she had to get that ticket from a scalper.
Like, what's it matter how she got the ticket? She got the ticket.
Crazy. And he had another liner. I think it was a little wild. You know, I think he was talking about the Los Americanos when they came out to fight. The brothers Creed who were posing as Americanos, but he's like, oh, they need to deport those guys. I'm like, what?
I love JBL. He is wild.
Oh my gosh. I mean, this match had it all. These guys were ripping their mask up from the start. Like, I was actually surprised these masks stayed on at one point.
Really?
The way that Gable kind of ripped open Kaiser's mask, which you've seen it before in Lucha, but when Kaiser goes to rip his mask, it's ripped open so much that you're like, how is he almost just gonna fall out of this thing like a taco or something? You know, his head's gonna pop out and he's gonna be exposed. But they would rip the mask open and just start laying in these shots to try and, you know, hard way each other. And I thought, like, man, that was just not different that we haven't seen it, but like that was a real way to just get that color that just added that another layer of emotion to this match. Like, I felt everything in this match from start to finish. Obviously, the finish was, like, you know, we kind of revealed the original El Grande Americano. He gets beat. He gets beat by this Mexican spirit that the El Grande Americano, the newer one, kind of shows. And he gets unmasked, you know, and it's this moment in the ring where this character, it's been teetering the edge of comedy, but also like the most serious over story you've ever seen in Mexico ever.
Yeah.
And you kind of wonder how this reveal is going to go, because you kind of wonder how the finish is going to go. There's actually a point in time where I thought, as over as El Grande Americano is, maybe somehow the original wins. And like, he just is organically still over with these people that he's assimilated him. I think that's the correct word in this moment, but like, he's, you know, he's put himself into these people. So I kind of thought there was maybe potential for that angle, but Gable reveals himself. He reveals that his mission, as it originally was to learn these lucha libre arts because he fucking hates luchadors. He wants to defeat them all. And he still reiterates that in this moment. But what's beautiful about it is he acknowledges what beats him is this Mexican spirit.
Yeah.
It's what the other El Grande encompassed, that his mission may still be the same, and Chad can come back and still, you know, I think it was interesting because while he's getting these thank you chants, he's getting cheered, blood is pouring from his head. For some reason, they won't get him a towel. They're loving on this man, but he's still giving himself this out to be a heel when he comes back.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, I respect what the fuck just happened, to be honest. But also, I still fucking hate luchadors. My mission ain't changed. It's like, I still want to beat luchadors, but like, I respect what they have going on. So I really like that. He had his family in the ring, which was really cool.
I've seen that.
It was just very entertaining. You know, he's pouring blood from his head. Like I said, at one point he kind of high fives his daughter. His daughter sees the blood in her hand. She kind of laughing with her mom, and then she wipes the blood on her brother. It's like this goofy little moment, kind of, that's like off to the side.
Yeah.
But the entire post show is really powerful. Chad walks up the ramp, and they've got his full name, and like they kind of showed it like a eulogy. Like, I thought this man died. They put his full name on it. It was like Chad Edward Gable from, like, I was like, he just unmasked. But it was like, I can't stress this enough. Like, if you didn't get to see this match, like, I've been rambling about it, I don't know how long now, probably 8 to 10 minutes, but it's well worth the time. Like,
yeah,
from start to finish, everything was beautiful with this match. I think the whole AAA show is like amazing, but this main event is everything pro wrestling. And I think that's the best way to describe it. Like, it had a hint of silliness with certain things, you know, the run-ins, all the craziness, the love in the story. Like, this match had literally everything that you can ask WWE to offer. You can ask AAA to offer. the Undertaker, who's helping book down there. I don't want to give him all the credit, but like, fantastic job he's doing as a part of AAA and what they're doing down there right now. I'm not completely familiar with the history of AAA. I couldn't tell you what their shows were, like before WWE, but like, I know what I'm getting right now is very good, at least in that regard. And I hope that that standard continues. And I'm actually very interested to see what the trajectory of the El Grande Americano character is now that this portion of his story is finished.
Yeah.
And I guess for me, I know they're doing a 2-night AAA Mania, and I know I'm kind of getting into looking ahead. But I think that, maybe he's got, I know people were clamoring they want Ray and Dom mask versus hair, but maybe it's Dom and El Grande Americano down the line, mask versus hair in some way, shape, or form, and that gets the mask off of El Grande. That's, my long weird piece about what happened to AAA. But
no, that was excellent coverage, man. You made me regret that I missed it live. And the clips I seen, what you said with the Hispanic fandom and the energy and the Mexican love that they have for wrestling, it really spoke volumes in every clip I've seen, everything I've seen throughout this whole story. This truly was perfect storytelling. It shows what you can do with a year or over. Yeah, and all you got to do is let it cook, because yes, was it an audience of a different section than we're normal to? 100%. But they're still human beings who love wrestling. I'm a human being who loves wrestling. You are, Bryce. Everybody in the household is. So we all have that connection. I think that I think AAA right now, linked up with the Undertaker, is perfection, because Undertaker had the sight to be like, we might have something here, and then they stuck with it, and whatever he's in charge of and what he puts out there, that's fine. But what we're seeing is the characters that they have down there, the men, the women that go out there and do the show, have something, and that's what gets highlighted the most. And I love that for wrestling.
I think a promotion like them, like, clearly they've been a long-standing promotion. They've definitely got great luchadors, great wrestlers going on, great wrestling going on. And I think that inclusion of WWE, the inclusion of, the Undertaker on that base level, it helps character development. It helps storytelling. It helps that production, obviously, where, okay, now it's not just maybe the storytelling in the ring, but some of the stuff we maybe got through the El Grande Americano feud wasn't something maybe AAA would have really done before. And then, you cook with this, and now you see, hey, this stuff really works. This stuff really appeals to our fans. Like, I think the best part of pro wrestling sometimes to me is how soap opera it can be.
Yes.
That's why the bloodline stuff really appeals to me. It's not because I need these guys to come out and wrestle every week. It's because I know that it's like watching a TV show.
Yeah.
15 to 20 minutes, even if it's just them standing in the ring and asking for acknowledgement. I know that there's some background, whether it's Jay, looking sneaky or something, like somebody doing something. It's that you're going to tune in because you need to see how these guys react to each other. So you can, in your brain, go, I can see what's turning. I can see what's happening with them. Or you get these moments in AAA, I think, through this feud where the really dramatic stuff, where it's like, I don't know, it's like, this guy had to get handcuffed and his girlfriend was fired, and as crazy as it, as stupid as it sounds, she's back to work on, she was never fired.
Yeah, exactly. But we bought into it because of the storytelling.
Yes, you suspend the belief.
Yes.
And you just enjoy it. I mean, the fans and I'm going to harp on it again, the difference in how these matches and these guys were cheered, whether they were in America or Mexico. The face heel dynamic would get flipped, and it wasn't that anything specific was happening in the story that week necessarily, but like people just knew, hey, we're in America, we're cheering for Chad Gable.
Yeah.
We're in Mexico, we're cheering for El Grande Americano. Like, it's just, we understand, we're gonna do it.
Well, El Grande Americano not only went down there and learned the wrestling, he learned the culture. And that is a huge, he learned all the little ins and outs of it. And like JBL says, being from Texas, he goes, you know, some people speak Spanish. He's speaking Mexican. He's speaking their language. And right there, that's a huge, huge asset to anybody going into a foreign territory and trying to be a star, because you have to connect with those people. And wrestling is that audience, whoever you're performing in front of, you have to make some type of connection. And yeah, you can do heel wise, and Chad Gable proved that, and he connected with them that way. But look at the love that the other side's getting, and the embracing and things like that. That moment on the what you were talking about, where Gable was coming out and he tried to grab the mask out of the fan's hand, that young boy believed that if he lost that, somebody was going to lose the match, and it wasn't going to be his. His guy wasn't coming out on top. So when you got that much, I mean, even Gable, like, he grown man went at that kid for a second. So to get that kind of pop, you got to love it. And you kind of, throughout this whole rivalry, you've seen these two performing at the top of their game.
Insane.
It is
beautiful work just all around. I mean, it's beautiful to like have these guys get this opportunity, especially when you have AAA. Like, I guess there's a bit of an argument, I guess you can make, that maybe you're not getting enough of, maybe this is taking away from AAA, but like, or, you know, what they already have going on. But, you know, these are two guys that I think that obviously in the current landscape of what's going on right now, like, you get worried that they get lost in the shuffle if, you know, they're not able to have this opportunity per se. You know, where would El Grande Americano be per se had he never gotten to take this character on, you know, over a year ago?
Dude,
would we be looking at him in those past cuts? Because, you know, he's not, you know, to break down that wall, you know, he's not associated with Gunther anymore.
Yeah.
He's not, you know, running with those guys. So when your character is just in a free-floating territory like that, and it doesn't seem like they had a plan for him or anything like that until this happened, you worry about a guy like that. Chad Gable's a guy who, he's gotten opportunities before. They've never been willing to go. But I think that this is also something that, like, you know, maybe or Undertaker can get in somebody's ear over on the other side, you know, as he's going back, and it's either, hey, I need this guy to come back to AAA and beat luchadors and take the, you know, the championship somehow, or hey, you're getting him back, give this guy a fucking push. Like, he just had the best story going on over here. Like,
no, that
more opportunity, please.
Exactly. And actually, throughout what you're saying, the more I'm thinking about it, everybody ate from this teaming up with AAA. AAA got more eyes on their product. People are loving it. Absolutely loving the 1 hour format. Great storytelling, great fast-paced action. Doesn't stop. Boom, an hour of your time. And they're able to accomplish storytelling to this level. It begs, it really, it shines a light on the fact that who's ever over there doing the writing, who's ever setting things up, who's ever doing all that, all those people are people to be listening to. And Undertaker alone, name alone, if he says you should probably push this dude, you should probably fucking push him. So TKO, listen to the dead man, because the dead man just fucking he helped get something over that was one of the best stories being told in wrestling today. Fantastic stuff. Bryce, great coverage. Fucking great talk, man. We went half or 34 minutes over. But you know what? That's perfect, man, because this is just this sometimes this stuff happens, you know. So fans, we're gonna let you know where you can catch us, and I'm gonna give Bryce first at bat on this one. So Bryce, let them know where they can find you and what all that you do, my friend.
Man, I can be found a little bit everywhere. I'm over here. I'm over there. I'm on the Facebook. Hey, here's a question. You know, Monday Night Raw happened. What'd you like? Sometimes people say, I liked everything. Sometimes people are smartasses and they go, I fucking hate wrestling. And then I'm like, why are you in this group? Like, it's literally the craziest thing on Facebook, but you can catch me over there. Sometimes, you know, clearly I just pop in on shows. Like, it's like a crazy guest appearance. Today I'm here to lick a window. Thursday, AEW Dynamite. Yeah. I think that, I don't know if, I don't think I should be able to say that.
We stole it from Proof.
That guy's not on Dynamite.
We stole it from Proof.
All right, whatever. Dynamite. Yeah. LA Knight, don't come for me. He's gonna throw me through like speed.
Dude, he'll throw us all through it like
shit. And then you can find me, you know, Sundays. I might pop in for a house party, might pop in for a watch along, and then smoke sesh. My list is growing, you know.
It is.
I haven't found a name, but my list is growing. I even maybe have something cooking on the way. I might be starting something here soon. I'm really not going to say too much. Just know you might just randomly see a link pop up on a Friday afternoon, and I'm just going to talk for an hour, and you'll find out what it's more about. But it might, a little hint. It might be kind of like that talk we had earlier, with Danhausen. Yeah, might be along that line. So, just stay tuned. Something might be coming.
Beautiful. I love it. I love all the work being done by all the creators here at the network of In Your House. Fans, you heard it. So you can catch Bryce definitely on the next Thursday AEW at 6 p.m. where we recap Dynamite. It's a fun time. It's a great time. OG Tony, Bryce, me, and House. He is the Lord of the Manor. He directs what we do. So come check us out at 6 p.m. on a Thursday there. So if you like what you've seen here, guess what? Stop in next Tuesday where we do it all again. We review another Raw and we talk about what we like, what we don't like, what we would change. You never know who's going to be here, but you do know me and Kevin Kalloway will be. Maybe we might get another guest appearance. We don't know. Times change all the time. Tomorrow, guess what, fans? Speaking of time, we're getting in that time machine. Call up Doc Brown. Boop, boop, boop. Hello. We're going back, Marty, and we're going to watch some WCW Monday Night Nitro with me and House, and it's a fun time. Me and House have been loving this. This is an extension of the ECW watch along, but now we're into Nitro. We're back in the mid-90s. We're seeing neon everywhere. We're seeing people that you kind of go, can we watch this guy anymore? Remember what he did? But you know what? It's a fun time. It's a great time. Eric Bischoff's on the panel, and so is Mongo and his dog. Yes, he's still bringing his dog for the first segment. So stop in, chat with me and House. And fans, every one of these shows that we've talked about, you drive the conversation. Get in the chats. Let us know what you want to talk about. And look, there we go. We got a mini Scooby there. We absolutely love the fact that you fans drive our conversations. So keep doing that. Ribshot, we know we irk you on some things, but we know we make you love because you're always in the chat. So thank you. Thank you, everybody. Anthony, thank you for always being here. Have a great one. Fighting's one. You're one of our favorites, buddy. So come and join us again for all the In Your House Network fun. And we will catch you on the next one. Bye.